Hello everyone. So in today's video we'll go over how to do daylight analysis using Climate Studio. So to do the daylight analysis, first we need to have a 3D model modeled in a way where everything is assigned in correct layers. So for example, all the walls need to be in the correct wall layer, the roof needs to be in correct roof layer, glazing need to be modeled separately in a glazing layer or glass, floors need to be in floor layer, etc. The columns need to be in column layer. So once you have all of that, the next thing we need to do is create analysis floor. So to do the analysis floor, let's first turn off everything else. Come to the analysis floor. Right now, analysis floor is basically a singular planar surface that is traced on top of your floor. So essentially the idea is to use that surface to do the analysis on. Once you have all of that, you need to launch Climate Studio. If you do not see these icons up top on your Rhino, one thing you can do is right click in this area, go to show toolbar, scroll down and make sure that Climate Studio Rhino is turned on or checked on. If it's not, click here and it will show up in your top menu. Alright, once you have everything ready, turn on all the layers and launch daylight analysis. Okay, so here the first let's park it and dock it on the side. First thing we need to do is assign a correct weather file. It defaults to Boston Logan Airport, but you can click here on the browse file, and for me the project is in Mountain View. So Mountain View Moffett Field looks okay. Once I have correct EBW file assigned, the next thing we need to check is check compass, making sure that it's oriented in right direction. Display size I can increase or decrease. That's just size of your north arrow. Once you have all of that, it gives you a very basic climate analysis along with it. Next thing we need to do is assign materials in Climate Studio. So to do that, we'll go through every single layer where we have our geometry and assign correct material. To check this, I recommend referring to your specs, what is a kind of color, material, texture you are assigning, and make sure you pick something that's closest to what you are specifying in your spec section. It is relatively easy to do it for floors, walls, roof, etc. If you don't have a clear idea, and if this is very early design stage, then you can pick something generic like beige wall or light gray floor or like concrete ground, etc. If it's very early and you don't have a clear understanding of what that material is going to look like. The next thing is assigning a glazing material. So to assign glazing material, you actually need to click here on others, pick the glazing assembly and pick your correct glazing type that has a right visible light transmission. Again, this is a assembly that you'll find in your specifications. For me, it's usually Solar 70 on Solexia, but you can pick the one that's you have in your spec section. Once we have all of that, the next thing is assigning a grid. So this is our analysis grid. Here we are selecting everything that's in our analysis floor. So I'll do select objects. These are all the objects that we have on the floor and assign them. Now here I can give them ID. Make sure your sensor spacing is 2. This is very important. It's required for lead to have a minimum sensor spacing of 2 feet. And if you are in hurry and you need something really quick and you are not looking to actually document it for lead, then you can increase the spacing to 6. The results are not accurate, like very accurate, but they are fast. Next thing is work plane offset. This is where the analysis is going to be, which is at 2 foot 6 inch above the ground plane. So that's our working desk height area. Hit OK, and we have all the classrooms. Now I can go in and actually make this classroom 1, next one classroom 2, so on and so forth. If you need to assign specific names to it. For me, it's fine. Next thing that we are looking for is directions. So let me show you what I mean by that. Let me go to analysis floor. Sometimes what happens is if you have a surface that's pointing in wrong direction, if it's pointing downwards, then your analysis grid will go on the bottom side, and that's not useful, right? So then in that case you will hit flip, select the surface that you want to flip, and it will come back to its original location where it should be. This is a one very common mistake that happens usually, where we don't see the analysis, but it's usually on the bottom side of the floor plane. So in that case you just need to flip all your surfaces and it will show up. Okay. Next thing that we have is there is a possibility to do the shades. So depending on which kind of daylight analysis you are choosing for prim or lead, or which version you are choosing, it gives you options of having blinds or having skylights. So after all that is done, you just need to hit play and we'll wait for the analysis to complete. The results, it usually takes around 15, 20, 30 minutes depending on how complex your model is. So once the whole process is run, we'll come back to the results. Okay, so now when you get the message of run is complete, that means Climate Studio is done doing the analysis. To see the analysis, you need to again go up here and click on the results. This is where all the results are. Let's dock it here. So here we can see that we get 3 credits for this building. That means it's performing well in terms of daylighting. The SDA is 100%, that's spatial daylight autonomy. And this is ASE, annual sunlight exposure. And this is average lux, like how the light is being distributed. Once we have all of that, one way to look at it is you turn on clipping plane and you can see how the daylight is being distributed. The other thing you can do is you can export a PDF of all the results. So I can name it test 1 classroom, hit OK, and this is saved to the same file where your model is located. So let me go, click here, and look at the report. So here is the report of daylight analysis. It also provides a report for every single classroom, like how it is in terms of STA and ASE. It provides all the materials that we assign to different layers and for what occupancy schedule that report is ran for, and the basic glossary of the report. So that's about it. You can also just take screenshots of your floor plate and just do a very simple view capture, hide this one. Now we can do view capture to clipboard or view capture to file. If you do file, it automatically just creates a file of the things that it sees on the screen. So yeah, this is how we do daylight analysis in Climate Studio. Thank you so much for watching, and reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a great day.